Hello, and welcome to the Kansas State College Advising Corps Housing During College Virtual Workshop. My name is Brittany Grindle, and I'm a college advisor at KSCAC. Today, I will be diving into the housing experience for college students. We will start off by discussing different housing types as well as the benefits of living on campus. We will then describe the housing application process and calculate the average cost of campus housing. Throughout the presentation, other college advisors from KSCAC will share their campus living experiences. When it comes to the types of housing a student can choose from, there is a lot of variety. First up is the traditional campus dorm. Dorms can house up to 4 occupants who share bathrooms and other common areas with the entire floor. Students who want a more structural living experience may consider scholarship halls or learning communities. Suites are 1 or 2 person bedrooms with an in-unit bathroom and sometimes a living room. Access to private spaces instead of just a share space is one of the main benefits of choosing a suite room if available. Typically, freshmen are able to decide between dorms and suites for their first year on campus. Apartments can be on or off campus accommodations, which provide 1 or 2 bedrooms with an in-unit bathroom, kitchen, and living room. Typically, upperclassmen are able to apply for apartment-style accommodations, and these options are often the most expensive. Sorority and fraternity houses are for students who wish to be deeply involved in a certain group on campus. The pledge process can start early on in freshman year, and students usually move to sorority or fraternity housing to live together. I recommend researching options at your specific university to learn more about the process and options. And lastly, off campus housing options can vary as well. Some students, if attending a college close to home, may choose to live at home and to commute to campus for classes and events. Other students may decide to live in off campus housing units with roommates. Keep in mind, some universities require students to live on campus for at least their first year, while others do not have a campus living requirement if the student lives a certain distance away from campus. A discussion about on-campus living would be incomplete without feedback from other advisors. A. Ramos, the college advisor at Garden City High School, attended Fort Hays State University and told me, quote, "My freshman year of college, I lived in a living learning community. A living learning community is a campus housing option that groups students by shared interests. I was grouped with first-generation students, and they were an incredible support group during my first year of college. We would spend time together and have impromptu study sessions," end quote. Meanwhile, Jalen Stewart, the current college advisor at Shawnee Mission Northwest High School, attended Kansas State University and shared this about her housing experience. Quote, "My freshman year of college, I lived in a suite at Kansas State with 3 other girls. We lived in a dorm that housed both boys and girls, and it was a great experience. We spent lots of time with the other people on our dorm floor, and I made many friends," end quote. There are multiple benefits of living on campus, specifically for students who are worried about adjusting quickly to college life. First, living on campus normally allows students to more easily connect to peers and campus leaders. This is because you have close access to university-sponsored events at all hours of the day. Statistically, there are higher retention rates among on-campus students compared to their communal counterparts, which means if you live on campus, you are more likely to return to your school the following academic year. Compared to students who commute, students who live on campus also have close access to peer support and campus resources, such as study groups. Doing so may also allow you to work as a resident assistant, which may cover the cost of your housing. Students have also found that living on campus minimizes the stress of commuting to classes or events, particularly any early morning classes you may have. In other words, it is easier to be both involved in campus life and to get enough hours of sleep. And finally, having access to food at dining halls through a meal plan can help students adjust to independent living and better manage their nutrition. On-campus dining can sometimes be mysterious or off-putting, as the thought of eating at only a couple of places throughout an entire year can be intimidating for students. However, advisors have reported that this is not always the case. For instance, Megan Menares, the college advisor at Gardner Edgerton High School, attended Southeast Missouri State and shares that, quote, "The food at my school was so good. We had a ton of options all around campus. The places in the student union were mostly chains, but most other places were build your own or buffet style. One of the buffet-style dining halls had specific food for those that had the 8 major food allergies, but everywhere had options." Another Kansas State University alum, Rachel Rafferty, who is the current college advisor at Olathe West High School, had this to say about her time at Kansas State. Quote, "I felt I had a lot of options to choose from, whether I was feeling a more health meal option or something not very healthy. They always had plenty of dessert options and unlimited cereal on standby. The week before Thanksgiving break, our dining hall would host a Thanksgiving meal called Dovesgiving. This was the best time of year to get together with your friends and enjoy a delicious Thanksgiving meal together. Overall, it is recommended with going on campus tours that you also look into what the dining hall options are like, especially if you have any dietary restrictions. What about being an RA? One of our college advisors, Logan Van Winkle, who serves at Olathe North High School, worked as an RA for 3 years at his alma mater at Missouri State University. Here's what he had to say. Quote, I loved my time as an RA. I met so many people and felt truly connected to campus. Every event, every class, and every game was just a short walk away from my building. I loved the people I worked with and loved the responsibility it gave me. I felt like I was seen as someone residents could come to if they needed help, which is exactly what I wanted. Of course, the benefits were nice too. Free housing, dining, money towards the bookstore each semester, monthly stipend, etc. It definitely had its perks. So, how do you secure housing as an incoming college freshman? As with many things when it comes to higher education, the process depends on the specific school you plan on enrolling. However, you will only be able to apply for housing access after you have been accepted, which means there are more benefits to applying early. Just like other factors of college, such as majors and financial aid, housing should be something you consider during your college search. If you have already been accepted to college and are unsure about how to secure housing, or if you are required to live on campus your freshman year, reach out to your school's residence life office to check with them. I have included a link in the description to a file which provides residential hall contact info for the universities within the KC Scholars Post-Secondary Network. When you are deciding which housing option may be the best fit for you, cost will also play a role in your decision. According to collegeboxes.com, the national average cost of room and board for the 2021-2022 academic year was $11,060 at public schools and $12,640 at private schools. Keep in mind, these estimates include the most common housing assignment and meal plan. This slide shows an example cost projection of room and board at Kansas State University. Remember, if you live on campus, you will most likely be required to purchase a meal plan. So if you choose the double traditional dorm option at KSU and the all-access meal plan, your semester cost would be $5,635 for room and board alone. Make sure to understand your housing options and requirements while researching universities so that you are not caught off guard by these additional costs. To wrap up this presentation, I thought it would be nice to share some more input from fellow college advisors on whether or not they would choose to live on campus again. When it comes to their experience, which are partly showcased by the photos on this slide, Advisor Ramos says, I would definitely still live on campus because my experience was great. I met people who were great to be around, and I'm even still friends with my freshman roommate. Meanwhile, Ms. Stewart reminisced about her time at K-State by saying, living on campus gave me opportunities to be more involved in my school, make friends right from the beginning, and break out of my shell a little bit. Finally, Mr. Van Winkle looked back fondly on his time living at Missouri State University and said, I loved living on campus. I met so many people that I would not otherwise had the opportunity to meet, and I helped freshmen through one of the toughest transitions of their lives. I worked with some incredible people and always knew what was happening on campus. If I could go back, I would choose to live on campus again and again. Despite being an expensive part of college, alumni from around the community find that the benefits of living on campus outweigh the negatives. If you wish to learn more about the on-campus living experience, connect with your future university's housing department or ask your college advisor. Thank you for watching and make sure to explore our channel for other videos about preparing for college.